Let's talk a bit about how to behave in the cave. Shark Cave is a large cave which is often an aggregation site for grey nurse sharks. The site is excellent, often with great viz, but it is exposed to winds and often has strong currents. It's also sometimes known as nurses' quarters. In this video we're going to explore how we can behave around these sharks to avoid disturbing them and giving everybody the best viewing experience. In short, we're going to discuss how to behave in the cave. Here you can see two large females in front and a male behind. Come by and check us out. We're sitting near the entrance and avoiding going in just yet, letting them get used to us. You can see these sharks are relaxed because their tail strokes are slow and their pectoral fins are horizontal. While they may look big and fierce, growing up to 3 meters, they're actually no real threat to humans as they're fish eaters. Provided you don't do something stupid like try to grab them, they're quite docile. Let's look at body language. Most sharks will give you a warning to back off. Head down, pectoral fins down, back arch, sometimes head moving in exaggerated circles. This photo was taken on another dive, when a diver had hemmed her into a corner without realising by their bubbles. Several minutes later, as I was the last person leaving the Opera House cave, she came up to me and made her displeasure known. But this lady is calm and relaxed, and glides past looking curiously at us, wondering what strange type of fish I must be. She also seems to have a bulbous belly and could be pregnant. We don't know yet where WA's grey nurse sharks give birth, but despite being an important aggregation site, Shark Cave does not appear to be a nursery. Grey nurse sharks are docile but very sensitive to physical obstruction, bubble noise and spatial pressure. Here are some guidelines to avoid stressing the sharks so they stick around. Maintain your distance and stay low. If possible, stay out of the main cave on the edge. They will retreat, but then if you stay calm, they will come back to you and line up to pass by and look at you. Later, if you must go in when they're used to you, keep 3 meters away from resting sharks or slow cruising sharks and stay low near the bottom to avoid towering over them and appearing to be a threat. Control your breathing and trim. Avoid sudden erratic movements or rapid bursts of bubbles. Slow, deliberate breathing is the order of the day. It minimises noise and ensure your buoyancy is good so you don't stir up sediment or crash into the reef. Avoid sweeping through the cave from one side to the other and flushing the sharks out ahead of a wall of divers. If there are no sharks, then you can go through, but if the sharks are present, avoid exploring the cave and sit quietly and observe the sharks. Limit your time inside the aggregation zone and stick to the higher parts. After 10 to 15 minutes, move along to the outer ledge for a bit, and often they will come and check you out as they get used to you. Never cut off a shark's exit or its swimming line, either by yourself or by your bubbles rising. Watch its pectoral fins and as an indicator of mood. If they're down, it's not happy. If they're flat, it's okay. Never chase or touch the sharks under any circumstances. Sometimes you may see fishing gear stuck on the shark. Never try to remove it, you may get bitten. It takes trained teams of divers supervised by a vet to do this safely. And besides, usually the hook rots out or the shark's body rejects the hook and they have an amazing ability to heal. Over on the East Coast there has been some experiments with vets to remove fishing gear from sharks, but not here yet. Penetrate the deep cave recesses. Never enter the back of the cave or the undercut when the sharks are present. Stay at the cave entrance so the sharks have a clear path to retreat and exit freely. Here we see a couple of divers getting over-enthusiastic and pushing past us into the deep recesses and getting right in the face of the sharks in their deep ledge, which is their retreating zone. This is not good practice, so try to avoid this. In their defense, it's easy to forget and become over-enthusiastic. Let's talk about lighting and camera etiquette. Avoid focused constant beams of light, especially in the shark's eyes. Narrow spotlight beams can focus light directly into their pupils, their sensitive pupils. Diffuse video lights can be less bad, as it spreads the light over a wide area. Because light drops off quickly in intensity without a hotspot, it feels more like ambient daylight rather than a direct threat, but not right up in their face. Strobes don't appear to be bad, provided they're not discharged constantly in their eyes. They seem to ignore them. Strobes discharge in less than 1,000th of a second. That brief diffuse pulse doesn't seem to disrupt them much or trigger a startle response like a spotlight seems to. Watch the shark's reaction to a series of strobes. The shark shows little reaction to the strobe, but seems less happy at being hemmed in and followed to the back of its cave. Watch again the reaction to a strobe, but this time at the front of the cave. Strobes generally in nature photography seem to have little effect on animals, and it's suggested that they mimic ambient surface reflections or lightning flashes. While light does matter, grey nurse sharks react far more strongly to physical and acoustic cues. Research suggests a strobe flash is too brief to trigger sustained pupil constriction or retinal bleaching, so the shark perceives an instantaneous flash rather than a blinding glare. Vibrations such as heavy fin kicks, sudden bursts of bubbles, and spatial pressure such as pushing cameras and selfie poles into their personal space, which is about 1 to 1.5 meters, triggers a response regardless of if a camera flash fires. One last point, avoid wearing shark shields in the cave, or if you want to, make sure it's turned off first. This is an example from a few years back where my friend left it on. Their ability to heal is impressive. This is from a film I made in 2019. About a week after the dive, shark researcher Alex informed me that she'd identified one of the sharks from this actual dive. She identified this shark on screen as the same one we'd filmed here on the 4th of February 2018. That was 1 year and 2 months before. But the really good news from this was that the last time we saw him, he had a bad wound on his right gill. Happily now, this wound is healed and he has survived. That's all for today's video. Please like, share, subscribe, and join us again next time on Aquatic Australia.